Good morning, Professor KRS Sambasiva, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University, and today's esteemed keynote speaker, Shri Mahbubul Haq, sir, Honorable Chancellor, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, Dr. Midul Hazarika, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, participants of the program, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, we would welcome all to the 6th lecture of the USTM webinar lecture series organized to discuss the various aspects, issues, and challenges in higher education during and post-COVID-19, especially open education resources and online education. Before we begin, I would like to request all the participants to kindly mute their audio during the session. Participants can post their queries in the chat box. Selected queries will be taken up for discussion, taking into account the time factor. We would also request all the participants to kindly fill the feedback form. The link of the feedback form will be shared at the end of this session. E-certificates will be will be issued to those participants who had filled the feedback form. The feedback form link will be open till midnight tonight. Before we start, I think I would like to add a few words about Rao sir. Ladies and gentlemen, as we know, Rao sir is a very distinguished academician who holds a DSc in biotechnology from Berhampur University, PhD in pharmaceutical science from Andhra University, and PhD in zoology from SB University, Tirupati. Professor Rao sir has been director of Acharya Nagarjuna University since 2014, and in 2017 he was appointed the Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University. He is associated with many national and international organizations of repute, and we are really indeed honored to have such a distinguished personality with us today. Sir, we would like to hand over the session to you now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the Honorable Chancellor of University of Science and Technology, Mahbubul Haq Ji, who is a very dynamic personality, and he has developed the university in a very nice manner, and it is one of the best universities in this Northeast region. And I also thank Madam Rahmatullah Ji, who invited me for giving a webinar lecture to the participants. And also, I thank all the other members who are involved here and invited me for this webinar. As you all know that today's topic assigned to me, challenges of higher education post-COVID, open and online educational resources. As you all know that we are all now in a situation in the almost like a pandemic situation. People are very much scared of this corona, and people are almost now curtailed with so many activities regularly every day, which we are supposed to do in normal life. Particularly in the universities and colleges, now we are been suffering because of this lockdown, and the situation is also very alarming. It was almost, today's statistics says that India has crossed more than 5 lakhs people infected with corona. And if you just see the world scenario, it is more than 10 million, almost nearing 10 million people affected by this corona. And almost nearing 5 lakhs people died due to this infection. And India also, around 15,000 to 15,500 people died because of this corona infection. And it is a challenging task for the various countries to protect the people and society from its severe impact on various critical issues now of the country, and also more importantly on education. So actually, if you see, people has to be very importantly, they should understand It is an infectious viral infection, but it is not that dangerous. You have to understand, particularly students. Why? Because no, I wanted to make this for the students so have some kind of confidence and also solidarity for their life. It is very important that you have to understand there are various infections. Normally, we come across heart attacks around every year. We get around 6% to 8% of the whole population, around 6 to 9 crores of people will be getting heart attacks, and almost similar diabetes, more than 10 to 12% of the people, that is around 10 crores to 12 crores. And even cancer is one of the biggest disease. Every day 1300 people will die or dying now because of cancer in India. That is around 13 to 15% of the total population, around 13 crores to 15 crores in a year. But corona, you have to understand, it is only 2.5% of the people are dying. In the last January to June, almost June is completed, we have deaths of around 15,000 people. It is only 2% of the total infected population. So it's not that dangerous, you have to understand. If we take some kind of social measures, people has to be out of this scare. You have to make some kind of measures like social distancing, and most importantly the washing of the hands, and not to put your hands in mouth or eyes or nose. That these two important measures, if you can able to maintain and clean very frequently, you can be get rid of this particular infection very easily. And also take more water, and this will help you to be out of scare. This is most important. But in educational institutions, almost since March 15th onwards, almost all educational institutions in the country has been closed. And it is one of the biggest pandemic situation that people are not able to understand when we are going back to the institutions, and when the classes are going to be commenced also, we are not able to know. So when the situation is going to be restored also, people are not been known. And for your kind information, the universities, all universities in Australia, they have cancelled the classes up to June 2021, and there will be no physical classes, and all the students are requested to join only in online. Similarly, in most of the European universities and North American universities, the universities are asking their students to come to the classes through online. So the education system has got a tremendous change in India all too. In India, actually, many people we don't know about the online education earlier, and before this COVID, actually the India education system is not encouraging online education, though it is there since 1995. Indian education system is not supporting the online education, and many universities, they started even correspondence course. They never started about the online education in India. We are almost know many people, including students, teachers, and parents, everyone, they are not liking about online education. There are many advantages, innumerable advantages for online education. People has to understand that. But actually, I will be discussing those advantages and those which actually some kind of disadvantages too. I agree with some of the people's feeling. But the physical classes added with online education will be very definitely advantage for many people. And it is very important that you should know that many universities, even we universities which are not having any facilities, in the last 3 to 4 months, we conducted all the classes through online. All the classes, even practicals, also through virtual demonstrations. And now internal examinations and some of the universities, final examinations also been conducted through online. And but still many people are opposing this kind of open education system and online education system, online resources. They are not been accepting in our country. So we are going to discuss what are the advantages, what is the present situation, and what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages. We will be discussing them. And this is very important that people should understand. I'm going to discuss the present topic in different headings like current situation, post-COVID academic challenges in India, and digital transformation, global mobility, and future challenges of the education, particularly online and open education. As you know that the outbreak of corona disease has created an unprecedented challenge to the society and particularly to the educational system. And Indian education system is considered as biggest one of the biggest educational network, and more than 1,000 universities are there, and more than 42,000 colleges are there, and several thousands of that is around 2,000 professional colleges are there, and several lakhs of people are studying every year in these educational institutions in higher education. And if we just see the primary education, secondary education, several lakhs of people are studying every year, crores of people are studying in the Indian education system. And but this has come to a stalemate now. Why? Because this COVID-19, it is one of the biggest pandemic situation after World War II. World War II is in the recent past, World War II has got a pandemic situation for the whole world. And now we are suffering more than that. And our enemy is now virus. How to combat the enemy? I'm not going to talk about that, but it is our enemy is virus here now. And indirect effect is on education system. And the world is suffering because of the situation which is alarming in higher education, health and sanitation, and also the welfare of the children, the welfare of the parents, and the welfare of the old people, and health issues, socio-economic issues, and the financial issues, and even socio-economic conditions of the people, because many people has become jobless and they are not having any income, and so many issues are there. This is the current situation now. People are suffering because of various related issues. And health wise, we are suffering because of various problems like neurological and pulmonary, and also health issues. And what happened exactly indirectly when this is more emphasis is given for this particular COVID, several other diseases which are being prevailed in the patients. I was mentioning you in the beginning that 10% of the people are having diabetes, 10% more than 10% are having cancer, 10% are having BP, 10% are having heart attack problems. So almost 30 to 40% of the people are suffering with all these problems, and most of the hospitals are being now shut down, and people are been suffering like various health issues, and people are getting panic in various issues. This is the current situation in the country. And if we just go to for the academic challenges, post-COVID challenges, what are the challenges? We'll just discuss one by one. As I was mentioning you, current more than 9 million people are impacted with COVID now in the global region, whole globe, and unpredictably around the world, we are not able to understand what is going to happen, and after when it is going to be cured, and when it is going to be vaccine is coming, and when the treatment is going to come, we are not knowing, because but we are hearing that it is going to be in the clinical trials, it is going to be released in the month of October, and people are saying that within 6 months it is going to be released like that. We are hearing so many things, but till then we get that particular vaccine to the market, till then the treatment is coming into the market, people will be under this panic situation. And uncertainty has caused psychological distresses. Many people are getting scared of what is their future, what is their life, and what is the. If you just see the newspaper today here in one of the southern states, I saw when a person died because of the COVID, even their family members are not going to the dead body, and the municipal people are throwing away the dead body. This is what actually people are getting psychologically distressed, and they are very much afraid. People are really scared of. This is what happening. And socio-economic factor influencing the academic continuity because no many people are jobless. Many industries, because the government job sector jobs will be very limited, and most of the people, parents are living working in industries and private sector, and almost all the industries and private sector has been closed now, and the salaries are not being given, and people are not in a position to pay the fees, and people are not even getting livelihood. And the government has been taking a lot of measures to even companies to sustain themselves, and they are postponing the various dues of the companies or industries, and they are giving a lot of remedies and reliefs to the particular companies and small scale industries, and they have even redefined the industrial classification, and they are giving a lot of incentives for the companies, and encouraging the industries to give salaries to the people. The government is trying very much to cope up this situation, but still a lot of the psychological situations or distresses are there. And current situation in India, particularly an academic situation, the COVID-19 pandemic has to change the world sooner. The way of our governments, institutions, organizations, people think and function will radically change, perhaps for the long term. Long term, they are planning, and it is going to change very soon. Among many economic sector, the higher education sector is undergoing a tectonic shift right now. What several futurists and education technologies have been forecasting for long is now happening. Many people, they say that mm, uh, since many years, uh, the online education, though it is very useful, but people are making opposing for the introduction of online education now. But it is a tremendous shift has taken place, and the technology will be playing a crucial role in education system now. And millions of students across the globe have been driven out of their university, colleges, and high schools, and they are now confined to their houses. And education has become, even in primary schools, secondary schools also, the academic instruction is going on with only online classes, and even the students are answering the examinations also through online, and even professors, teachers confined to the houses, and they are also preparing the e-content, and they are also doing so much of work from home, and they are providing the opportunity for the students to learn from the home. And this has grappling with sudden new norms of completely technology mediated teaching and learning process has come into existence, and some of the students actually are not able to cope up with this one. And if we just see the post-COVID changes, the if we just see the cartoon here, and we will be creating a virtual a shoe store, and we will be creating a virtual bookstore. We will be creating a virtual post office, and post-COVID, the main street will be having like this. Virtual means that's almost similar to the reality, that is called virtual, and we get everything like this. The challenges are in the post-COVID, after the COVID situation, the health, safety, and related issues, like in colleges are open. What is that colleges has to maintain? The social distance, they are been emphasized. So how to maintain social distance? Many of the colleges, schools, they are not having sufficient spaces. The building uh, or the infrastructure which is available is not sufficient for the colleges to maintain the social distance, and the students cannot be given that much space or accommodation for conducting classes with maintenance of social distance. And the digital transformation, that is online teaching, online learning, virtual classrooms, technology mediated examinations, many schools, colleges are not been equipped with this digital technologies. This is one of the important one. All the colleges has to be equipped with this one. And lack of infrastructure, building space is not there, and that is the technology provision is not there. And if we all many institutions wants to go for it, the budgetary provision is not there, money, because now students are not in a position to pay the fees, and the parents are not in a position to pay the fees, and colleges are not going to get the income, and the even industries are not going to pay the salaries for the people, and the financial crisis will be there, and lot of problems are there, and other constraints like psychological, social, and economical. That is, psychological, people have a feeling that how to live in this world, how to survive in this COVID environment, how to protect ourselves from the environment, how to get this kind of disease. Everybody is suffering now. Everybody is having a feeling. And social, how to maintain a distance from the people. If we touch a person, or if we go to a person nearby, what is going to attack us, we don't know. And how we have to protect ourselves. And economic, that is financial resources for the family members and institutions and everyone. All are actually the post-COVID challenges which we need to that is overcome all these challenges. And the academic challenges, if we are talking about the post-COVID academic challenges, higher education institutions, colleges, schools, no, there is a big paradigm shift, and in a learning process. And how, what is the kind of shift is students and faculty are not tuned for this digital learning. We don't know. Many teachers, I am telling, many university professors also doesn't know how to operate internet, how to operate a computer. They don't know how to switch on the computer. This is what actually the situation in many institutions, that teachers are not been trained for this. But now learning, I saw one of the teacher in high school who doesn't know about laptop. Now she started using that laptop and she's teaching the school children also. But there is a change, but there is a need, there is a demand, there is a necessity. People are also getting change. And students, faculty are tuned for this one. Lack of a digital infrastructure. So we don't have digital infrastructure. Many villages are not having bandwidth sufficiently to go for studying the material. And many colleges and high schools, even universities are not been having the digital infrastructure. And immediately the budgetary provision will not be there even to purchase. But no basic facilities for students at home. Many students actually are financially very poor, economically very poor, and parents are working very hard to train them and getting educated in the colleges and schools. And the basic requirement, internet facility, bandwidth facility, computer, laptop for the students, children are not been, and several people Android phones are using and surviving now with various handicaps. No way of conducting the labs for the science courses. The labs actually, there is no possibility for conducting laboratories because universities or colleges are not been working. So even then, they are trying to do something by virtual classes. Virtual classes means it's almost simulation of the practicals and how it is demonstration of the experiments, getting the feeling that they are doing the experiment themselves. I will be also showing some slides. What is the virtual classes in the next few slides I will show you. And demotivation in learning. People has got some kind of feeling because we are tuned for physical classes, physical laboratory experiments, and we are tuned for that. But this is some kind of demotivation, that is, we are not having confidence now to learn. But don't be under that impression. We have a lot of scope for online learning also, but you need to have a motivation for that. You need to have some kind of feeling that the practical oriented experiments always can be learned. There is no harm in that. And socio-economic factors and psychological factors influencing the academic. These are definitely they are influencing, because the family system, they are living in a very remote areas and they don't have any kind of facilities and financial resources are not there. They are definitely impacting the education system, particularly for the students. And the challenges in India are in particular, that is, digitalization is the obvious impact. Is the obvious impact. There is an impact for us. Online teaching, digital material, online payment of fees, online evaluation. These are the various challenges. You need to implement that. Though so far online teaching has been implemented, online evaluation is not been done, and online payment of fees is also going to be implemented. And mass appeal or mass education, that is one of the biggest advantages. Mass education, anybody from it taught from the one place at Delhi and every whole country can even been taught with the particular subject. Location will not be a constraint. Anybody, anywhere, they can follow this particular one. And they need to have an education with application or output orientation. Output, application oriented or output orientation, they have to be trained in such a way that most of the technologies has to be implemented. And because by virtual classes and augmented technologies, they can be even trained how normally by a sensation of the particular feeling that they can be touched with various objectives, and that augmentation can be even provided by the modern technologies, which I will show you in the coming slides. Like webinars, online conferences are being performed by almost all the institutions. And by product or side effect will be convenience, everything, online link assignment, submission, test of exam, fees payment, results, etc. are also being tried. Transparency, digitalization will increase transparency in teaching. Earlier, normally we don't know how many students are coming to the class, whether the classes are going to be happened or not, we don't know. But now, because of this digitalization, we know how many number of participants are there. Now I know how many students are participating in this particular webinar. I can by just knowing the number of participants who are there, and more involvement of people will be there, and quality due to recording, because everything what I am teaching is now recorded, and it is retrievable, and people can listen to this and can check any time. And accuracy, timing is there. I just joined at 10:45 and I started my lecture at 11 o'clock, and duration of the class is known, and it is the transparency of everything is known. Earlier, the teacher will go to the class and he will not teach, he will spend time by chit-chatting, and nobody knows whether teacher is giving class or not, and whether teacher is able to do his job or not, nobody knows. But now, because of the digitalization, we know the quality of the teaching, we know whether teacher is performing his duty or not, whether the student is attending the class or not, whether the classes are being taught properly or not. Everything is now transparent. So the digital transformation has given so many advantages now. We have just discussed about the various advantages. Digital is the use of new, fast and frequently changing digital technology to solve our problems. Digital transformation needs the paradigm shift now. So everything is now in our vicinity, nearby, and Internet of Things. Everything is because of Internet. And people, they need to unlearn the old ways and learn the new ways of delivering. Because of this, they have to learn new things now. So many new things. We don't know what is happening in America, but now because of that we know. And what is happening in a forest area when we don't know, and when in a cave, what is happening. But because of the new technology, we can understand what is happening inside the cave also. We can understand. That is called actual learning. And current method of classroom delivery is no longer valid now. Now it is going to change. Classroom learning is only teaching learning process, earlier physical process. Only except in the practical classroom learning, online learning is the most important learning, because we have a varied types of teachers. And your University of Science and Technology, though it is in Meghalaya, I am from a Mizoram, I am able to teach all of you. And cloud learning, that is storing all the information learning content in the cloud, that is cloud storage. Earlier we don't have that. Cloud storage is not there anywhere. Now every institution has got cloud storage, and everything is now being stored. And data, create the reusable content. You will be having reusable content. You are now preparing everything e-content. You are delivering everything. The same lectures can be even shown to the next batch, and the other students also can be shown. And reusable data we have now. Manual effort, number of times repeating task will be reduced. Objectives of the digital transformation. What is the main objective? To create a scalable, easy to operate cloud-based digital learning platform. Scalable means we can enhance, we can increase, or we can spread to many people. And a platform which can promote technology-based learning. Earlier, we don't know about the technology developments in the world. To train the academicians on the e-learning platform, and also connecting academicians and industry experts. Earlier, we can't invite an academician industries from the abroad, but now we can invite any person who is a world-renowned Bill Gates is there, so we can invite him, Bill Gates, to online, and we can hear here. So we can invite anyone, and we can interact with them. Industry skills and surviving skills, when they graduate will be known, they can go out and they can, industry skills, they can be learned. To roll out the application and initiate the content creation, instead of repeated lectures manually, we can have recorded sessions number of times. So this is most important, that repeated lectures and the monotonic lectures which are prepared 10 years back. If you just go to some colleges and classes, no, the teachers will be carrying information in a almost tearing way. That is almost in the like fossils, no, they will be bringing and they will be seeing that information, teaching classes in various colleges. We see this kind of environment. Now, because of this digitalization, there is no such requirement. To build the required infrastructure for implementation of this one, it is very important that governments are slowly taking up. And it is, earlier we never knew that Android phones are being used by even students, but now everybody is using Android phone. Every teacher is using Android phone. Every technology is being used to promote the entrepreneurship and create opportunities by expanding the digital classrooms. Is one of the biggest possibility that higher education is going to be changed now. What can system do now? Digital platform include robotic teachers with artificial intelligence technology to support the in-person lectures as needed, or to fill the gaps when the faculty is not available. So in some of the subjects, we don't have the teacher in our university or college. So to fill that gap, we can have digital lectures from remote areas and from the people who are staying outside. Cloud-based e-learning platform to reduce the prime cost of physical learning. Teacher has to be recruited with high cost of fees, salary. So now it can be removed, it can be avoided. Integration with existing video conference system, it will be more useful for the people to get more lectures, more qualified people from world. Features like discussion forum similar to social media platform, which facilitates a very secured environmental promoting focused learning. The focused learning, what subject do you want to learn, what knowledge you want to provide to the students, it can be learned. Online training tutorials is also been possible. Online assignment submissions, corrections and scoring is also possible. Highly configurable and customizable solutions can be made in local languages. Even in whatever the language you want, you can perform that. In training labs, and this can also cater to any discipline. Training labs, virtual labs. I will show you some of the mechanisms for virtual labs. So how to achieve this digital transformation from that's to achieve a smart class and to achieve a success in your career? Applying systems thinking, forming the implementable digital strategy, that is which can be operatable, unlearn the old current ways of thinking and adding innovation in everything, creativity, innovation, and employability, and also entrepreneurship. Many need to be relearned. So many people who doesn't know, because the teacher is not able to teach exactly what creativity, what is innovation, and he cannot show what is this kind of knowledge which has been performed elsewhere. But because of this, you can provide the knowledge to the students from anywhere, wherever it is being studied. And training the people towards the digital learning is very, very important change. Setting up surface, tabs, laptops to everyone to attend the sessions is one of the biggest change in digital transformation. Building and supporting a robust IT system and support the system is going to be a big digital transformation can be achieved. Global mobility of students can be reduced now, because every student who is studying in India, they like to go outside. America, Europe, many European countries, they like to go. It can be reduced now. Global mobility can be reduced. A lot of cost involvement is there. Now Harvard degree you can achieve in India, and even Oxford degree you can achieve in India. Harvard and Oxford universities are also offering now online courses. It's the usual practice that Indian students will go for higher education at abroad, probably because of quality education and in search of better employment, particularly into US and Europe. Many students depend on financial aid provided by the foreign universities and opportunities for work during after studies. Now the opportunities for higher studies and employment is at risk in those places, particularly after COVID-19. The economic status of many countries are under suffocation now. And the students coming to India for higher studies will be impacted because of the socio-economic conditions prevailing in India, because we don't have jobs in India, and people coming from abroad without jobs. What is the condition of those people who has got highest education abroad? The global mobility of students will have impact because of various issues relating to financial resources and health purview of different places. So open education and online education is the only alternative. Now it is going to be no other choice for students. We have to go for open education, and online education is the only alternative. What exactly it gives? Open access, anything you can have access, and open content. Content is available openly, open courseware, and open source software, and open education, e-learning, open educational resources, and many more things you can get. Everything is open now. Open educational resources are teaching and learning material that you may freely use and reuse at no cost, and without needing to ask permission, unlike copyright resources. If you are going to take one book xerox, you need a copyright permission, but open educational resources, you don't need to ask for any copyright permission. And it has been authored and created by an individual or organization that chooses to retain few, and if any ownership rights they feel, they will hold it and will have some control over that. Open education resources are materials offered freely and openly to use and adopt for teaching, learning, developments, and research. So which can be used very freely, which can be used for getting knowledge enrichment, which can be used for our research activity, and they, that is the commonwealth of learning. So it can be used, it is been called as open learning resource. UNESCO definition has given for this open learning: open educational resources are teaching, learning, or research materials that are in the public domain, public availability, or released within an intellectual property license that allows for free use, adaptation, and distribution. And open educational resources coined by UNESCO form on open courseware and designated as teaching, learning, research materials in any medium, digital or otherwise, than reside in the public domain or have been released under an open license that permits no cost access, use, adaptation, and redistribution by others with no or limited restrictions. So everything should be free, with everything should be accessible, everything without any cost involvement. If it is accessible to everyone, that is being called as open learning resource. Education is the feature of anyone. Without education, but one thing you have to understand, because of this open learning resource, you have to remember that you can study the Harvard degree, Oxford degree, Cornell degree, all the universities are going for it. So education is nothing but gaining knowledge and skills which may use the past information, present, and also with future information transferred from one person to another person through teaching, research, and training. So education is the feature of any individual. Online education is the feature for everyone now. So what is that online education says? What are the advantages? It enhances the students' technology skills, and it enhances the products, enhances the shy, avoids the shy, and the students' speaking ability skills also will be enhanced. It enables students to emulate and knowledge and learn in use of their knowledge in preferable way. And the forums are anonymous, and students are able to express the opinions and ideas very freely in online education. It improves the student independence, and the online education has got open new range of possibilities, new courses, and new learning techniques. It envisages for students as it involves audio and visual mechanisms. It is appealing to students of different learning styles, and it focuses on specific progresses and specific areas, and it is interactive and relevant to the students. And it is students are actual learning outcome is comparable with the online and physical uh, uh, learning. And growth in online education, if you just see here, in 1995, there are 0% of people who are opting for online education, 1995. But in 2002, it has been 7%. In 2012, it has been increased to 30%. And in 2014-15, it has been increased by 53%. Now, I say in 2020, it is 100% is going to come. And it is one of the biggest change in the world. In what way online education is helpful? Online education has been receiving an overwhelming response from across the world as it tends to eliminate such factors where the ease and comfort exists. Most importantly, what reality has convinced the people to go for it is that there is no hassle in pursuing education online, and moreover, the cost of online education is way too low and than that of a traditional education what we are studying now. And similar to this, it also cuts down the transportation costs to go for many places, and you can study the degree of Delhi University here, you can study the degree of Jawaharlal Nehru University here in your place. Advantage of e-learning and technology. You have a choice, student will have a choice, and student has got a flexibility. He wants to, for example, a science student who is studying microbiology or botany, zoology, if he wants to study digital technology, e-marketing, e-learning, and big data analysis, he can study anything. No bar for studying. And networking opportunities will be there, more networking opportunities. And facing situation, that is, you want to improve, increase your abilities, and you want to do something, it can be possible. Open scheduling, you want to have a scheduling for whatever you want to study, you can do number of courses. And savings, money, lack of commuting, that is transporting to many places, and connections can be developed with the open learning. Teaching and testing options you will be having at your own level, and effectiveness of education will be known to you. So there is a big fight now with everybody. Many students don't like online, and many students are interested to go for online. Now traditional learning, online learning, there is a big fight going on, but finally the online teaching, online learning is going to overcome. Benefits of online education over regular education. It is, online education is on left side, right side regular education. Online education is easy. Sitting at home can gain the knowledge, whereas in regular education, knowledge is gained in a particular center. Less expensive in online education, bit costlier in physical education. And missed classes can be gained at any time because recording will be there. Missed classes cannot be repeated or cannot be regained. They're difficult to gain in the case of regular class. And no timing in online. Today is Saturday, holiday, and universities are closed. You are able to understand, listen to me. And it is done in a perfect time, in only one time in regular education. Can get more explanations in online because more explanation, more number of lectures can be there. It is less explanations, only one teacher will be there in the case of regular education. And are student learning outcomes comparable? That is, learning outcome, the teaching we studying, the classes which you are doing here, is comparable with this one, normal education or not? This is what academic leaders surveyed. They made a survey and reported that online learning outcomes to be almost same and somewhat superior also, and superior to face-to-face teaching. In several surveys they have conducted, it was proved that online education is much superior than the regular education, and sometimes it is superior also. And academic leaders' perception of learning outcomes in online education compared to face-to-face, it is more superior. If we just see the said figure, it is in 2003, the online education is been preferred as inferior because of that more bar diagram is you can see here, and in green blue one it's almost same, that is a very less people they said, and this blue one the superior and somewhat superior like that, it was very less. But by the time it comes to 2012, they say that it is not inferior. The people who are saying inferior has become very less, and it is almost same, that has been increased so much, and in blue it is superior, means that also been increased. So online education acceptance is also been increasing day by day. In 2003, people are not accepting it and not favoring it and opposing it. But by the 2012, it has and by 2020, everybody accepting this. Online learning trends. If you just see here, I was telling you how to get online testing is more useful. How it is going to be virtual science classes. We are talking about the practicals. How it is going to be useful. How it is going to be helpful. So if you just see here, adaptive learning is possible in the case of online teaching, and we'll continue to advance learning and micro learning in a particular area, in a particular model. You can learn in online learning. And gamification, because gamification, it is normally people have a feeling that children will be playing with the games. But in the case of elder people also, it will be more interesting if you just know the subject through games. But video-based learning is also more interesting and more effective in learning. And focus on personal development and competency-based skills also is being given in online education. We just see here, adaptive learning refers to the use of algorithms to determine what is the most appropriate education or training module for learner. They will be deciding what is the appropriate model for the learner. The goal of adaptive learning is to deliver a highly personalized learning experience and meet specific learner needs. Learner needs will be known to the particular trainer. They will be given that appropriate knowledge. And micro learning, good. It is a very good new and a new platform, that is online platform Udemy and other consumer-facing online instructors. Micro learning is a small chunks which will continue to be adopted in 2009 and beyond. According to recent research by Euromonitor International, more consumers are willing to buy products and services that optimize the use of their time. This is an important trend that impacts the online learning market. Easier than ever and doing many things from their mobile devices and on the go. Learning is small chunks, that small micro level. In a particular 3-hour course, learning is also particularly useful to corporations who want to keep employees skilled up and engaged without weighing them and down with the time-consuming and boring training. If you are working in an organization, if the employer wants to do training in a particular skill, you don't need to cancel the working hour. You can provide micro levels, that morning hours or evening 2 hours, you can provide the training. So that kind of micro learning is possible even for employers. It's almost like continuous ever learning. Gamification and game-based learning. Gamification and game-based learning continue to grow in popularly with us. Is not simply where consumers and these days we are not familiar with the techniques. We are not familiar with the terminologies of computer and digital technology. So if you are shown with the games, you are shown with some kind of, you will be interested to learn. So that is the way of imparting the knowledge very effectively. The certification will provide any student, even it is a foreign subject for them, it will be easy for them to impart the knowledge through games. So the input will be created to the children and the subject will be imparted. Video-based learning. So if you are teaching in the class and if you are not having any figure, and it will not be easily understandable. So if video is also been provided and teaching is being done, that is more effective knowledge. Just to reinforce the trend, recent research shows that 80% of the professionals feel that the flexibility and control of online learning with videos improves the quality of learning. This is most important. Video-based learning will give more effective training for the students. And focus on personal development and competency-based skills. So if a person is having competency on a particular area, if that particular competency is being identified and that is being trained for the children, that will be more easy to understand and more easy to so this personal development of the individual children and competency-based skills can be identified and that can be provided. Skill-based learning, skill-based training, and leadership training can be provided to the children by this personal teaching skills. Online learning through social media. Now it is a part of everybody's life. Social media, without social media, without WhatsApp, nobody can survive. no Facebook, nobody can survive. No YouTube, nobody can survive. So many social media channels are there now, Instagram and so many things are there. So if you provide knowledge through the social media, that is also going to be very importantly going and effectively teaching the students. This is one of media be for teaching students of digital transformation. The students can be taught. So in this proved that people can have an access to the educational programs, MBA level or professional development courses from the best universities in Russia or outside, regardless of their place of living. So they are able to provide best education by the Russian universities. People can save their time without spending it on getting to the university at a time which is the most convenient for them. And people can broaden their erudition and also fill the gap in their education, listening to lectures of variety of subjects to them. Regarding whether people can find teachers from different countries in the world and take the most suitable time for them without leaving home. This is actually a survey has made Russian people are preferring more online learning. The future technologies, I was telling you in the beginning, that there are more virtual based learning technologies are coming, and the and people are now getting more sensitized knowledge because of the digital transformation. And some of them are virtual reality, augmented reality, artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, and 3D printing, and drones, and wearables, and autonomous self-driving cars, and many more like that. All this digital transformation has created more impact on the education of the children to learn more. I just give you some examples here. This is one of the called important development. It is called virtual reality. So virtual reality is a stimulated environment, that is environment will be stimulated, which is almost similar to your feeling. By using virtual reality, one can easily understand about the particular object. For example, if a car is given, car spares are given, you can understand virtual reality. Even if a new car is given, all the spares which are present in that car, he can understand, he can dismantle, and he can fit again the car. Similarly, any object, he can dismantle. All the virtual reality can be provided to the particular children to learn them what are the parts there in the car, and what are the parts how to dismantle them, how to mantle them. So the virtual reality can be trained to the students, and they can understand the particular object. So it is not possible in the regular physical based learning. We are not going to show them. This is only possible virtual reality, digital transformation technology, which we are providing children to learn like this. This is what now available. Augmented reality. This is, while it is similar to virtual reality, almost similar to reality, augmented reality enhances the one's surroundings, augments the surroundings, and by superimposing the virtual features onto the particular real world, and which can provide useful information about one's immediate environment. So the virtual environment will be creating you how the surrounding environment will be looking like, and what are the parts in that, and it will be augmenting the virtual reality, and it more focused information will be provided to the person, and more focused knowledge will be provided to the person. Even if you are having a particular place remote to your particular place of stay, and that particular 10 kilometers distance object also can be viewed. So this is the word called augmented reality objects. You can visualize this particular technology, digital technology, and you can learn. Augmented and virtual reality both combined together, you will understand more objects will be there. And it is very important that people can understand, and they can study, even enhances the surroundings, and they have the photograph of model of the particular one, objects of the particular one. So, and they can study what is that object, and they can study the object very well, and they can know the object information very closely and very intimately and very detailed manner. They can study, and they can have some kind of feeling. The sensitized feeling will be there for children, and they can learn more, and more detailed manner they can understand. Artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the behavior of the objects, the behavior of the the behavior of the machines, and behavior of the software is also been studied. And the artificial intelligence refers to the behavior of the machines and behavior of the software, and you can have the objects to be studied. And also this robotic technology. Sophia, it is a robot, the bottom one, and we can make the direct conversation with the robot. With her, she can answer for our questions and in an efficient manner. The this almost looking like same, top one at bottom one. And he is Professor Hiroshi, great Japanese scientist, like this similar concept from a famous movie, Robo. And from the figure to top one is the professor, and below one is the robot. How similar these two? It is a difficult task to find out which one is robot and which one is normal. So he can even transfer the knowledge, and he can even even give instructions to him, and he can do any kind of things. This is one of the important artificial intelligence, using artificial intelligence, machine software and machine one, and robotics will redefine the healthcare industry. Artificial intelligence and robot the support diagnose the patient and the healthcare system of the patient, and study the people, and those people who are in the home, they can be even diagnosed by the image which is taken from the particular person, and workplace, the clinical environments, and they will assess the patient and they will diagnose the disease. So doctor is now taking the image of the patient and he is assessing in the figure and what is the kind of disease he has got. So this is one of the important virtual learning has been created. And the next slide is Internet of Things. I was telling you, mentioning in the beginning, Internet of Things is the network of physical devices or vehicles or home appliances and other items embedded with embedded technology, with electronics, software, sensors, actual and connectivity, which enables them things to connect and exchange of the information, and creating opportunities for more direct integration of the physical world into the computer-based system, resulting in efficiency improvements, economic benefits, and reduced human exercises. Whole world is with you now. Whole world you can see in the bottom figure. Internet of Things. Whole world can be integrated, and people can learn what is going on in the world, and they can understand the process of learning. So you can understand and how the vehicle is coming, and at what time it should enter, and at what time it should be stopped, and everything. Whole world can be controlled by this integration of electronic devices, software, sensors, and actual and connectivity enables them to control everything. 3D printing. This is one of the important one. 3D printing, and 3D printing means a process of making a physical object. For example, if you want to create an object, it can be provided. That is scaffold. Using a scaffold, a particular device can be developed. So the action process of making a physical object from a three-dimensional. So normally we are seeing from the two-dimensional way, but three-dimensional way you can develop the object. Digital model can be created typically by laying down many of the thin layers in a material in a succession, and object can be created. You can see in the bottom, this dog has been created, and one Charminar has been created. So all this because of the 3D printer, the virtual objects also can be created, and students can be provided training to learn the particular object, how that particular object will be looking, and by taking the image from the internet through internet, that object can be developed by using the 3D printer. And 3D printer, you can even various objects also can be developed, like electronics. It can be used. Advanced nickel alloys can be developed, and food products and pharmaceuticals and bioinks or carbon fiber glass. All this will be used in this particular one. Drones. So you might be seeing several times in the recent past, a drone is a technological contest. It's an unmanned aircraft. Unmanned aircraft. Drones are more formally known as unmanned aerial vehicles or unmanned aircraft systems, essentially a drone. For example, if you want to study something which is far away from your place, 100 kilometers, for example, in Assam, you are seeing now that oil well is getting fired. So you want to see that oil well getting fired. So you cannot go there. So you can send a drone there, and you can take pictures of that, and you can see how it is going. Even virtual observation also can be there. So if you want to have one particular crop which has been developed somewhere, if you want, you can send the drone and you can understand that. Now, somewhere what is going on, wherever you cannot go, you cannot study, you cannot visit, drones can be sent and you can see and study the material. So this is possible only through this particular digital transformation technology, which is not possible through your virtual learning. So this digital transformation is possible. So you have to understand the online learning and open learning and digital transformation learning actually has given you more knowledgeable than the physical classroom teaching. And variable objects, if you can just wanted to have the variable objects, you can see that sensitize the environment. And by sensitizing the particular environment, you can understand, you can in your hand itself, you can have a sensitization and you can have the variable objects also in your hand. And a vehicle that is capable of sensing its environment and navigating without human input. If you want to send somewhere what is happening in the particular environment, it can go there and it can take the photographs and sense the particular environment conditions. It can study and it can sense signals to you what is happening in a particular place, where the vehicle will go there and will do that. You don't need to go there. And this is recognizable emotions in human face. Human face, people say that by seeing your face, I can study that face reading we say. So you are thinking something wrong about me, something good about me, like the people will be saying. That is called face reading. Microsoft, the tech giant, has been working on this. Microsoft, how to develop an artificial intelligence tool which can detect the emotions in an individual face. And part of the project Oxford, it uses world-class machine learning to interpret how people are feeling in their mind, how people are feeling in their brain. So that is been observed by these emotions which are being in your face can be recognized. This is one of the software which they are developing. It is not possible with physical learning. It is possible only with the digital learning. And merging human brain with the computer. So computer is a very intelligent machine. You can learn so many things. But if your brain is also very intelligent, if both are clubbed, it will be more intelligent. So Elon Musk latest startup is working on bringing brain-computer interface than ever before. So he is trying to develop one of the biggest interface using brain and computer both together to work to have more knowledge. This is what actually the technology has been increasing, how people has to grow. This is what we have to think. And the process which will be learned on its own. This is called Intel. They reportedly working on new generation of the called Nirvana chips, the chip technology. These chips are inspired by the human brain, which will help computers make decisions based on your patterns and associations of your body. And Intel recently announced that their first of its kind self-learning neuromorphic test chip, which uses to data to learn and make inferences for conclusions, decisions, what you have to do. This chip integrates the knowledge, integrates the various informations and gives a signal to what to do. This is what called processor, Intel processor, which will be learning of it by its own, the various emotions which are been taking place in your body. Machines will understand the meanings of your words. So when you are talking about the words, language which you're talking, we don't know what is that other opposite person is talking. Machines can understand by software has been developed, what are the words you are using, what is the frequency, what is the intensity, you can understand the words also. And now home and service robots will be prevailing now. You don't need to have a servant and understand you don't need to have a one person, you don't need to search for a person. Now robots can do whatever you want, and whatever the instructions you give it to robot, it will do. If you want to add more sugar, it will add more sugar and bring. So this is what virtual learning digital technologies has provided you a facility for doing whatever you want. Now pills, which actually starts pills will start detecting the diseases which are using artificial intelligence. This is what actually we will know. Similarly, this is what actually pill also the pills which are developed also, developing pill that could detect cancer and other diseases earlier than before it gives physical symptoms. As an attempt to eliminate unnecessary deaths due to late diagnosis of the doctor, the pills can diagnose the onset of the particular disease early, and it can also give signal to the persons that you are going to get this particular disease. So this is the kind of pills are coming. The pills will still in the experimental stage, but they are going to come and help you. And artificial intelligence will extend the average lifespan of humans, and it can also convert old age to young ones, and it also try to give rebirth to dead bodies. That is one of the biggest development artificial intelligence they developed. The Google-backed life extension company named Calico announced recently that it was partnering with the Chicago-based pharmaceutical giant to develop and bring marketable new drugs targeting diseases associated with old age. And they can even, they're making, emphasizing that they can even dead body live. This is what actually they are planning. What is that they are doing? Mimicizing the various symptoms which are actually been supposed to be there through this artificial intelligence technology. And they are trying to treat the diseases, and they are trying to make old age people to new young people, and also even life to the dead bodies. This is one of the important technology that is called holographic display, holographic TV. It is the feature of the TV development. We can understand and design what is the route map and how to go there. I was telling you in the cave, what is there in the cave, and existing inside, and without going inside, and our world can do many wonders. For example, in recent past in the Kerala, several sports people, 14 people or 15 people, they went and missed in a cave. After 14 days, the search team has identified them. So if this holographic TV is there, we can identify where these people, in which cave they are been stuck. Everything will be easily understandable. This is what holographic display utilizes the light diffraction of the particular place object to create a virtual three-dimensional structure image. And holographic displays are distinguished from other forms of 3D imaging in that they do not require the aid of any special glasses or external equipment or a viewer to see the image. So only the reflections of the particular light wavelengths they are taking, and they are collecting the information where the particular object is there, they can identify. And this is one of the blockchain technology. The blockchain technology is a security system. It is actually a digital ledger in which transactions made in a biocoin or another cryptocurrency are recorded in a chronological order and publicity. After 8 minutes to 10 minutes, this order will be changed. So nobody can have any kind of hacking and any kind of things. And this blockchain technology, because of this blockchain technology, hackers can be prevented. And every 8 to 10 minutes, that the series will be changed. And this is one of the beauty of the artificial intelligence, and now people are able to do this. Data security, it is one of the important factor, finding patterns and trends based on which the algorithms learn behavior in every interaction, and it undergoes, and it has been found through data research, the most malware and computer virus utilizes similar code in every new version. The machine learning algorithms find the pattern and predict the next interaction after a level that it can help make the robust security measures and activates the antivirus software. So data security, antivirus, virus can be prevented by this data security, particularly by using this machine learning technology, and they can have a programming of the particular virus to be prevented and controlled. This is what actually it is possible by the virtual learning. Science is a beautiful gift to humanity. We should not destroy it. We should learn from the science. We should try to do. A science student, biology student can learn technology, and a commerce student can learn technology. And in his degree, if you are studying MSc, We can study MBA digital learning, MCOM digital learning, MSc digital learning. So this is the beauty of the online courses. So people has to be aspiring for this kind of, at the age of 60 years, now I'm trying to go for another online degree very soon. I wanted to be a student now because online learning is a part of my life. I wanted to learn something more. This is what actually online learning has been given to you. Take home session message to you. Thinking agile, planning agile for long term and going to be digital. Moving away from manual and repeated tasks and automating them is your objective. Unlearn, relearn, and adapt to the changes which are taking place. Conclusion, hence the two systems of education has got benefits and drawbacks, physical learning and online learning. It cannot be told that particular system is best and particular system is worst. According to our convenience and based on the suitability of the benefits, you can choose the best one and educate yourself well. Learning knows no bounds, no boundaries. You can enjoy your life by online learning because no boundaries, no barriers, and you can have the best knowledge which you can achieve. And I'm very happy. If any doubts or clarifications are there, I'm happy to share with you.
Thank you so much, sir. Actually, we had a lot of participants that sent their queries. Sir just wanted to go about a few of the queries we have taken into. So one participant has asked how technical courses, mainly practice-based courses, can be taught through digital platforms, sir.
Actually, that's the various techniques like virtual learning, augmented virtual learning, and the gamification and algorithm techniques, and what I was mentioning you, all these are actually providing the technical courses also by virtual learning, by having a feeling that we can understand what is the process involved. Even an entire car can be dismantled and it can be remantled again. So this is what through virtual learning you can you can understand. Even the teacher may not be knowing. You can dismantle them everything and you can mantle them everything. The process how to dismantle also will be known to you. How to mantle also it will be known to them. So because of this digital learning, that has been very easy now to learn. Earlier it is not possible. No, physical learning also it is not possible. You have to go and show them in laboratory. It takes a lot of time. But by themselves they can learn because of this virtual learning. The techniques which I mentioned in the last 5-6 techniques. No, those techniques, digital imaging, digital learning, virtual learning, and virtual augmented learning, all can be possible by that.
Sir, one more question. Like, sir, PhD research work, especially research work where field work is required, sir. So what is your take on it, like, in their prevailing time, sir? How do the scholars, they go forward? This question has been asked by a lot of scholars today.
It is actually not in the scope of the lecture, but what my general opinion is that physical analysis of actually this sample survey and everything, there are many ways in sample surveys also. So even digital sample surveys also you can take up. That is the information of every place you can have in digital information you can have, and you can contact some people through email or some phone, and you can have a survey and you can record them through your sample survey, and you can also record them and process them, and you can do PhD like that. So you don't need to say that I am not able to go to field work, I am not able to do the sample survey, but you can make, the digital technology is available to you. You can contact them over phone, you can contact them email, you can contact them by different mechanisms and WhatsApp and other mechanisms, and sample survey can be recorded and that can be also taken up. There is no barrier for you now to do whatever you like using the digital technology for your learning process.
Sir, I think just one final question. Sir, yes. Online, sir, if online education becomes an integral part of our education system, sir, what, would you suggest an alternative for, students who do not have access to an Android phone or a computer, sir?
Actually, I know it is a situation in some rural areas where this particular problem is there and they don't have any internet facility, they don't have any other mechanism. But as of now, it may be not possible for them to provide everything, but only Android phone is one alternative, and also telephonic information is one alternative, and also the WhatsApp, which is possible, some alternative. But in future, they have to understand this is not going to be a barrier for them. The government also realized the importance of bandwidth and spreading of the technology, internet facility to remote villages also, even in the mountains also. The government is taking all the measures to provide the internet facility at different places, and it is going to be this is not going to be the end of COVID. It is going to be the future of the world. Digital technology is going to be the future of the world. Now, all the universities are, now UGC has given 200 universities scope for starting the digital online courses. I want Mizoram University is planning to start the courses which are not available throughout the world. I want to start some 15-20 courses which are not being offered in any of the university, so that actually the course which we are planning, it should be useful to the student, and practical oriented, skill oriented technologies can be learned. So initially, in a particular time where particularly you cannot have access to go for internet, you may be having some difficulty, the students, some of the students, but in the time to come, they will have the internet restoration will be there, internet facility will be there, and the government is also taking up several measures to provide the internet, and the future is internet. So don't bother about 1 year, 2 years, but
We have to see
bother
the
about the
larger
next 5
picture.
years,
The
and
larger
your life
picture.
will be very good. Larger picture, yes.
Thank you, sir. Like we are coming to the end of the session, I would now like to request Dr. Rashmi Borua, our senior professor from USTM, to kindly present the vote of thanks. Dr. Rashmi Borua.
A very good afternoon to respected Professor KRS Sambasiva sir, Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University, Mr. Mohbubul Haq sir, Honorable Chancellor of University of Science and Technology, Meghalaya, panelists, participants of today's webinar, ladies and gentlemen. In the beginning, I would like to express my profound gratitude to our esteemed lecturer, Professor Sir. As COVID-19 has forced educational institutes across India and the world indeed to suspend physical classrooms and shift to online classes, hence it has realized that open educational sources are in this crisis time because they are almost all digital and can be embedded into the campus learning management system. Sir has explained well about the post-COVID academic challenges, importance of digital transformation, global artificial intelligence, human computer, blockchain, access of appreciation, interesting and knowledgeable. I would also honorable Ms. M. Haq sir with online learning and measure its success. It is very true. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
We are extremely grateful to Dr. Mridul Hajorika sir, Vice Chancellor USTM, Professor Sohail Savir sir, Pro Vice Chancellor USTM, Registrar, Registrar, Deputy Registrar, Director, Student Affairs, OSD USTM, for giving us the moral support and continuous guidance to conduct this webinar. I'm extremely grateful to all the panelists present here for smooth functioning of the webinar. I'm very grateful to all the participants for attending this webinar. I'm very sure that all of us have learned many new things from today's topic. It is true that COVID-19 has made us realize that education is going to be digital in the coming future, and with the right infrastructure and policies in place, we will be better prepared to handle it. I would also like to say thank you to all the administrative and technical staff for smooth functioning of this web. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Rashmi Borua. Sir, we are indeed, very happy that you had consented to give today's lecture, and we are really, with the response that we had seen, we are really very thankful. We understand, with your busy schedule, but still you had taken up the time. Sir, the participants, I will request that please kindly fill up the feedback form. The feedback form link is open till tonight, midnight tonight. E-certificate will be issued to only those who had submitted the feedback form. And also, we'd like to inform you that we shall be having the next lecture on the 3rd of July. Professor G.D. Sharma, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Atal Bihari Vajpayee University, Bilaspur, will be addressing the lecture. And we hope to see you then. And thank you so much, sir, from the core of our heart, from the whole USTM family, sir. Thank you so much, Rao, sir.